Gibson, you finally got on the off the 24 number, and you did it with just a lot of layups. What made the shot profile so different for you guys tonight?
Yeah, I think you could kind of tell their game plan was to kind of lock on to, me and JP and our shooters. They weren't helping a whole lot. They were being physical, so I kind of just used that advantage. I had some smaller guards on me at times, so I was able to get to the rim and finish. And guys found me. But yeah, it was a team win, and we were able to pull it out.
Duquesne makes a lot of threes early in the first half, and then after they under 8 timeout, you guys held them under 20 points. What do you guys do defensively to stop the lead right there?
I think give Duquesne credit. They made some tough shots. They started the game, 8 in a row. I don't know if I've ever heard of that before, but yeah, they were making some tough shots. I think we switched up a little bit. We were tighter on their shooters on screens. We weren't helping as much. I think we were focused on kind of keeping the ball to the paint, but I think you saw there towards the end we were kind of focused on their shooters, and we wanted to make their smaller guards finish at the rim, and I think we did a great job of that. We had Franco down there who was blocking shots and rebounding. So yeah, I think it was a small adjustment, but it paid off.
Just like Gibson said, you give Duquesne a lot of credit. They came with a fast punch, but I think we saw a change in our team today. We responded. We all click on each other, talk to each other and figure out a way to win the game. So a lot of credit to my teammate for playing defense. Defense won us the game together.
When you say change, what do you mean? Like mentality or?
Yeah, mentally, that's some games we just, get out of ourselves and try to figure out how to win the game by ourselves instead of togetherness. And today we did that together. We've been preaching that the whole practice, and everybody came together. You see the bench was different. Everybody talking to each other. That's a huge jump for us, especially during this time of the year.
For instance, you seem like your shot numbers kind of, a little big one game and a little the next game, but tonight it seemed like they were giving you the ball consistently closer to the hoop instead of kind of like 5 or 6, steps away from it, kind of just like one dribble and then make your move. What was the difference in you guys kind of getting consistent, deep possession in the paint?
I mean, credit to my teammates for looking at me, but it's also me. I got to look for positions down there, and when I'm not touching the ball, I got to talk to Coach. And Coach, we had a good conversation, and all practice he was preaching, give the ball to the post in there. And my teammates were looking at me. Just I gotta be the one to establish position there. That's gonna be my job, and I trust them to give me the ball.
This can be for either one of you guys, but you mentioned Francis' team being able to take a step forward and make a leap tonight. What can you do to maybe sustain the momentum and take it running through the rest of the regular season into the postseason? This can be for either one of you.
To me, I think it's just continue doing what we did tonight. Coming to practice, understanding that we're playing for each other, we're still playing for something, and don't worry about who's up first in the game. Just focus on playing defense, clicking together, talking to each other, especially, and that starts with the leaders of this team. We got to start picking each other up like we did today. In practice, it started this week, and every leader got to pick each other up, and everybody else gonna follow.
And then from your guys' perspective as well, just what type of impact was Larry Hughes Jr. able to make, especially in that second half defensively?
Yeah, he played some big minutes there at the end. I think his energy, he got a lot of deflections. He had a few steals. He, made a nice mid-range pull-up. He kind of gave us that energy defensively that we, kind of were lacking at times. He kind of, picked us up, and it was contagious. I think, you started seeing everybody else kind of follow suit, and, for a freshman to do that, that's a big time. And, he played a hell of a game.
Larry, for me, he's a player that is not scared of the moment. He understands his role, and he knows that he's going to come here and play hard, especially on defense. He's not scared to take shots, but the most importantly, he's not scared to play defense. And looking at him in practice, we all know he's going to be a huge impact for us, especially during this time of the year. So huge credit to Larry. And I know he's still going to come back in practice, still doing the same thing. He never backs up. That's important for us.
You guys were part of that group that played like about 8 straight minutes and really kind of changed the game. Yuri, Larry, you two, and then Javon was out there. Does it get easier? Do you kind of like feel what everyone's doing on the court when you're out there for longer in those longer stretches like that?
Yeah, I think, Coach Ford sometimes, especially towards the end of the games, if we have a group that's rolling, he'll kind of just let us, kind of flow out there. And I think, you saw at the end of the game, we had that group out there that was clicking on defense. We were talking, we were rotating for each other. and we were able to finish the game out. And I think, yeah, we were working well together offensively and defensively, and those are at that point in the game, we needed that, and that that's what ultimately got us the win.
Do you guys notice a good win in the stands tonight?
He was there.
Oh, good, he was here.
I
I think I saw him on the baseline.
He did.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Yeah. That's tough. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Pass it along. Sometimes these are really the most gratifying. Sometimes when it's the way you took it, we just took a punch. I mean, they just came out and were throwing haymakers. And as I told our team, I don't know if I've ever been a part of a game where one team makes 15 threes, the other team only makes one, and the team that made one misses 10 free throws and still figured out how to 9 or 10 point lead with 6 minutes or 5 minutes to go. But we kind of took what the defense gave us, and really proud of the team, how we adjusted. The key to the game is how we ended the first half. That's, you're down 15, and to be able to go in halftime down 2, we felt terrific. We felt like that we felt good about that. So just really proud of our guys, because from a player standpoint, which I've been obviously, and a coach, when a team's making that many threes, it is easy to get deflated. It is easy to say, this is just not going to be our night. And our guys did. We kept telling them, guys, at some point, we're going to make them miss. Don't want them to miss. We got to make them miss, and just got to keep playing through it. And really proud of the effort, because that's hard to do. It's really hard to fight through that.
During that stretch from the under 8 timeout to the end of the half, you guys held Duquesne for 20 points or 20 less points. What you guys did defensively to stop the 3-point shooting?
Well, we started switching a lot more and just tried to, normally how they get their threes are driving kicks. And so how they got a lot of them were just reversing the ball, catching and shooting. Some of them came off driving kicks, so we started quit helping as much. We didn't want to overhelp, but more than anything, started switching, and a terminology, we wanted to make them drivers, put them on the floor, make them put it on the floor. We started the game, we were trying to take away the 3 and the drive. After they make 8, we just make them make them drive it, and that was the biggest difference. That and switting.
Francis told us that during that stretch, the mentality of the team switched from just being compliant to let's just go. You felt that switch?
Yeah, 12-minute mark or 8 minutes, I can't remember what time it's on. Someone, you got to make them miss. You don't hope they miss. You're going to have to make them miss. The only way you're going to make them miss, we're going to have to become ultra aggressive here. And if you'll think back, at the beginning of this, then that stretch, we started deflecting balls. We started getting steals. Yuri gets in the passing lane for a layup. I don't know who else, but and that's first thing as I walked into the locker room after the game, first thing I said to our team is the last 5 minutes, the aggressiveness is how we need to play for the next 20. But our aggressiveness was much, much better. Much better.
What impact did you see Larry Hughes Jr. be able to make in that second half defensively, especially late down the stretch?
Yeah, we subbed him in to give Yuri a break, and I like some of the things he did. And when I put Yuri back in, so I left him in there. And really why I left him in there was because of his defense, number one. He is a guy that we believe can guard different guys because his quickness, he has length, and he understands the game. And we really trust his defense a lot. And then, when it got down to 5 or 6 minutes, we had a lead. I just want to keep a ball handler in there, a guy that could help handle the ball, and he's kind of the backup point. And then we started letting him take the ball out of bounds late in the game because he makes good decisions. And Javon was taking it out, but Javon's one of our better free throw shooters, so we wanted to get Larry to help throw it in and just have a lot of faith in his defense.
Overall, that last stretch you played, that last 5 for about a stretch from 9:30 to about a minute 30. Was there any worry as you were getting there and they were getting a couple buckets that maybe the fatigue was setting in with those 5?
Yeah, it was talked about, but we liked the chemistry. We liked what was going on, and they were kind of locked in defensively, and we were doing some things a little different, and so we said, let's roll with it. Gibson actually asked for a break, and I couldn't get him out. I actually was going to bring somebody, and then luckily there was a timeout call, and so he said he was fine, so we didn't take him out. But, yeah, there's always a concern. But, we have certain guys that defend, certain guys that play, so we kind of just went with our defensive group.
Big thing on offense today seemed to be not just getting Francis touches, but getting him touches deep in the paint where he can be more effective. How did you guys do that?
Well, it was planned for the fact that we knew how much they pressure the ball. They force 9 steals a game. They're first in the league in steals. They're second in the league in forcing turnovers behind VCU. And how do you attack pressure? You attack pressure by getting to the inside of it, either by driving it or throwing it in the post. It's almost like safety passes. Get it down there and play out of there. Now, he did a great job of getting really deep, which was great. When I said, hey, go ahead and let's keep feeding him. But it's something we thought we would need to do just to relieve the pressure, and it kind of kept working, especially the drives and the post feeds.
Big day at the free throw line. I can't remember what the final number was, but at one point I think you guys were 20 to 33 from layups. Considering the troubles you had earlier in the season, has that just kind of been the grind of the season, or just a big game, or is there something that you saw over the last few weeks and that this team's getting better in that way?
As far as the attempts,
Well,
we weren't making any of them. At one point, we were at halftime. We were 1 for 7?
Yeah, for free throw, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing we talked about extensively is we need to get to the foul line. We need to get to the foul line. Now, I thought we'd make more than we did. But it was a point of emphasis. Again, as I told our team, our free throw attempts would be an indication of where are we getting the ball. If you're doing what we're trying to do, that means we're getting the ball in the paint, we're getting the ball where we need to. But you're going to have to be strong with it. If you can be strong with the ball, you'll gain some fouls because they are an aggressive, ultra-aggressive defensive team. And I think we had 13 turnovers, was it?
Yeah.
Not terrible, not really the goal we wanted, but we'll take that.
Anybody else for Coach? Did you notice Jordan Goodwin in the building?
Yeah, well, he was here. I got to see him yesterday. He was in here working out yesterday, and they're on All-Star break, so it's always great to have Jordan back, and it's good to see him.